Hypixel elected a dictator, and it's created the need for a resistance. Technoblade has stepped in to lead, but there's something very off about the results. Hey guys, it's Lego Maestro here, and welcome back to another episode of Hypixel News. You guys, there is a lot in this episode, so I hope you guys are excited. Technoblade is officially back and better than ever. Now, before we get into today's episode of the news, I just want to say, of course, if you do end up enjoying this video, then I highly recommend subscribing to the channel. I'll make sure to keep you guys informed on everything going on in the Hypixel network, and you can always change your mind if you don't enjoy the content. And with that, you guys, finally, I do have some amazing lunar cosmetics, which I highly recommend checking out. I friend every single person who gets my gold lunar cape, and the details are in the description. All right, guys, with that, let's get into the news. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Hypixel Skyblock actually elected a dictator, but the interesting thing is he got in democratically, meaning everyone actually voted for him to get into office. And boy, was it the wrong choice. Jaya Varman on March 30th, well, he tweeted out about a new mayor coming to Skyblock that he recommended nobody vote for. And the next day, on April Fool's Day, April 1st, Dante was announced. Now, Dante was special, okay? He had a pink color. He had the special candidate role. This guy was new. And his perks, well, they weren't ordinary. They were as follows: establish order, strengthen security, and freedom from fear. Now, Dante was a huge hit, all right? From April 2nd through the 4th, he was leading in the polls. And, well, when the polls ended on the 4th, the winner was none other than Dante himself. And for all Skyblock, this was a huge mistake. He started putting taxes on everything, including literally talking in the chat. And he even canceled events like Christmas, Halloween, and the traveling zoo. Dante was a madman, and everybody knew it. Because of this, there had to be a resistance. So on the next day, on April 5th, Seraphine hosted unofficial Skyblock elections for the resistance leader, the person who would take down Dante himself and lead the resistance. Now, this election was held in secret, very far away from Dante and his goons, and this was in the dark auction to make sure that they weren't spotted. Now, I don't know who it was, but somebody snitched to Dante because he found out about the resistance. 2 days later, on April 7th, Dante posted this in every single Skyblock hub. Important message from your leader. I am hearing word there is a resistance in the making somewhere in the wilderness. Please remember the benefits of me being your leader: order, security, and freedom. Do not fall victim to false hopes and do not vote for a resistance leader. Your mayor and friend, Dante. Now, Dante took one too many notes from his North Korea class, and people knew it. The elections continued, and people continued to vote for who they wanted to be the resistance leader. Now, obviously, there is only one man who can lead us through this resistance, but he isn't even a man at all. He's a pig. Technoblade was sweeping the polls from day one as soon as the elections even came out. But then, ladies and gentlemen, something happened that absolutely nobody could have anticipated. For the first time since the Potato War, Technoblade did a live stream on Hypixel. The live stream was titled, "It's Time for Revolution." Techno had heard the cries of the people. The oppression of Dante had made them anxious and desperate for Techno to be their leader. And he heard their pleas and came to our rescue. He said this at the beginning of his live stream.
How many years has it been since I last played Skyblock? Like, actually, it's been like, I guess it's more a matter of months. The Potato War was like 9 months ago. How long has it been? How much has changed since I last played this game? But recently, the calls for me to return have been growing in number. There is an emergency that I have been called to fix.
Men like George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, do you know what they all have in common? They were all great leaders who gave great speeches. And Technoblade, being the English major that he is no exception to this. Halfway through his live stream, Technoblade gathered everybody in Skyblock Lobby 1, and he spoke to the people with this valiant speech.
Dante has taken over our game. He's forcing egregious taxes on us. I mean, 2 coins to travel from island to island. Who can afford that? Who can afford that? No one has that kind of money. All right, he's canceled Christmas. He's a terrible person, and he must be overthrown, all right? And we can't do this through normal means because he's taken over our election system. He's the only candidate you can vote for. He is a tyrant. And that is why I have returned to Skyblock today. When you need someone to fix your sink, you call a plumber. When you need someone to fix your electricity, you call an electrician. And when you need someone to overthrow a brutal tyrant, you call an anarchist. Alright, that is why I am here today. Long live the revolution. We are going to be taking down Dante, ladies and gentlemen, alright?
Now, 7 minutes later, things got even crazier in the live stream when Technoblade announced that the admins had revealed to him that if he defeats Dante, Techno will become the mayor of Skyblock. Now, a few months ago, there was talk about players being the mayor of Skyblock, but then it turned out to just be NPCs. But this seems much more real than that. The admins revealed to him that if he wins, he will become the mayor of Skyblock. And he talked about having the best perks in the game. Now, 3 minutes later in the stream, and things got even crazier when Technoblade hit 100,000 votes for being the resistance leader. Now, you guys want to know the real story, the real juice, the best thing about this entire Hypixel news episode. Technoblade said at the 30-minute mark, well, I'm not even going to spoil it for you guys. Listen to this.
A week and a half ago, I was actually like logging into Skyblock, like, you know, I need video ideas. I bet I could make another Skyblock video, but what would I do? And then Dante happened, and now the resistance. It's the freest content of my life. All right.
That's right. Techno is going to be actually making another video on Hypixel Skyblock. Boy, has it been a long time since we've seen that. So that is very, very exciting. Now, also in his live stream, he talks about getting to combat level 50 in order to truly fight Dante at his highest ability. Now, he also talked about maybe streaming, getting to this level and training to defeat Dante, but he isn't sure yet since he says it's kind of grindy. He also talked about potentially streaming the revolt when he fights Dante. Now, the very last thing to note about this live stream is that Technoblade said he is not sure what day the revolt is going to take place on. Now, keep in mind, at this point, the polls were still going on and people were still voting for candidates. Most of them going to Technoblade, but that didn't stop other people from trying to become the leader. ThirtyVirus made a video attempting to get himself elected, and TimeDeo did the same. But it was no use, they didn't even get close. On April 12th, the elections closed, and Technoblade won without a challenge. But here were your runner-ups. ThirtyVirus, TimeDeo, Swavey, 2NFG, Furry E-Boy, and Refraction. Now, if it weren't for 2NFG, you might think that the colors of their names were based on their ranks. But the main question now is, who is 2NFG, and why out of all the candidates is he in a cage? I did some digging, and 2NFG is an MVP Plus player who's been on the network since 2016. Now, supposedly he was banned off of Hypixel, but is still admin in a lot of Hypixel discords, which could explain how he got elected. Another part of his election comes from I Go By Lots of Names, a Hypixel Skyblock YouTuber. Now, he made a video on how he got banned, and in the video, he mentioned him talking about 2NFG, and that's how he got banned, is pretending like this guy hacked him. Now, this video got a lot of views, so it wouldn't surprise me if this is what helped him become one of the runner-ups. Now, ladies and gentlemen, going back to Technoblade, he said he wasn't sure when the revolt will happen, but Jaya Varman, a Skyblock admin, does know the exact date and time, and he released it. Yesterday, Jaya tweeted out saying the revolt will most likely happen in approximately 49 hours. Now, to give you guys the exact date and time, that is April 16th at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. All right, that is 2:30 Eastern Time. Write that down. Now, another thing he noted in his tweet is that he says there should be a countdown in Skyblock soon. Along with this, Jaya said that this is a one-time event. So due to the fact that people are in school and that there's time zone issues, there's not going to be any rare loot from this event. Now, finally, Jaya made a third tweet saying a few very important things. Number one is he says if people do end up enjoying this event, they may do more in the future. Secondly, the Dante event has not stopped development on the new Skyblock updates. And finally, he says that they did find a solution to backpacks in Skyblock so that they should be enabled by the time the Dante revolution occurs. So some very, very exciting stuff, a lot of jam-packed info. Now, at the time that I'm recording this video, there does not appear to be any countdown timer in Skyblock for this revolution. But that being said, something interesting has happened. If you go to the Dark Auction and talk to Seraphine, well, you can actually claim Rising Sun armor made purely to help you fight Dante. Now guys, that is all the info I've got on Technoblade and the Resistance and Dante and everything so far. But of course, I'll make sure to keep you guys informed as we go along. And make sure you're checking out Techno's channel because undoubtedly there's going to be some great stuff coming there soon about this Resistance. Now finally, you guys, for our Hypixel news this week, Hypixel had their 8-year anniversary. They made a post about it, including a map with a red X. Now that day, every single Hypixel NPC got a unique, insightful message about the Hypixel network. And along with this, if you find Simon Hypixel on the map, he says this: "Another year has passed for us, and we couldn't have done this without all of you. Starting from adventure maps in 2012, moving to a server in 2013, and finally making it to where we are now has been a long journey that has been worth every step. Thank you all for joining us these last 8 years. Here's to many more." And along with this, you will receive the Hypixel veteran status and the Hypixel click effect. Wow. Simon, if you're watching this, thank you for everything on Hypixel, all the memories, all the fun. As a veteran who's been on the server since 2013, thank you for absolutely everything. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the news this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a truly blessed day, and I'll see you next time.